I am concerned that the administration is moving forward with this proposal on a bilateral basis, outside of an overarching NATO framework. While it is true that NATO nations traditionally develop weapons systems and offer those capabilities to the alliance, there is usually a NATO requirement for those capabilities. There is currently no NATO consensus on the Bush administration's proposal. I believe it is the fundamental interest of the United States to obtain NATO support for the proposal, both for political and operational reasons. We need to send a clear political signal once and for all that the days of old Europe and new Europe are over and done with. Seeking NATO endorsement for additional interceptors makes sense. While the proposed system is strategic, NATO has long been preparing for a more limited option of theater missile defense, and the United States is paying approximately 25% of the cost of that system. It is critical to ensure that whatever we do to defend the long-range threat, that it is fully interoperable within any NATO system. The Republicans in the last Congress zeroed out the funding for the European site. So I think that we have to look at what the language was in the defense bill last year, and the language was, and the reason that the Republicans in charge of both the House and the Senate zeroed it out was because it was premature to invest in the third European site until the existing block 2004-2006 GMD configuration completes integrated end-to-end testing. MDA has still not completed successful end-to-end testing of the GMD system. So in the bill last year, the requirements were set forward, and those requirements have not been met. I don't think this is a political discussion, although there is politics involved. It's a multilateral discussion. It should not be a question of Democrats and Republicans. I'm not suggesting that we don't move ahead on a comprehensive defensive missile shield. I'm saying we must. What I'm saying is, first of all, let's make sure that we have the right technology before we start to do fixed site silos that are huge infrastructure investments that are going to cost in the end about $4 billion. Why don't we move on the things that we know we have, the Aegis system and THAAD, which, by the way, are mobile, and together can cover all of Europe, as opposed to this system that would only cover probably about 2/3 of Europe and leave the southern flank needing a mobile system. So, you know, let's keep this argument about making sure that it's not about what some people would like it to be about. We are for a strong missile defense, not only for ourselves, but for our warfighters and for our allies. We want one that works, and we want one that is interoperable, working within the NATO framework, working within the opportunity to deploy as soon as possible, one that has been fully tested and put to the rigors of flight tests and operational testing, and one that we can find, I think, a big consensus on.